Okay, you guys, so I'm going to be doing a review for Scandal. I don't know what episode this is. I know it's season 3, so I'll put the correct episode it is. Let me start off by saying this. From the beginning of Scandal, from season 1 till this is what season 3, I do believe, I never really had any type of respect for Melly. Because Melly was okay from the jump, from doing whatever it takes for her husband to be the president. And then she was also okay with Olivia sleeping with him. She had no problem with that. The issue I have after watching this episode with Melly was Melly did not speak up for herself in the beginning. And she just allowed all of this to kind of be build up tension. And I think that's why she was kind of okay with her husband sleeping with Olivia, because the joke was on him because he was raising his own brother. So I was kind of like, if Millie had said, okay, your father took advantage of me, now I'm pregnant, she wouldn't be as angry as she is now. And not only that, she wouldn't always be, she claims that she's begging for his attention all the time. And the first real look back to the beginning of how he became governor of California showed she was begging then. And I think that the thing with Melly that gets me is this, and I'm going to say this, men don't know the sacrifices that women make. Not unless, they raised by single mothers or they really care. What they care about is being boinked or them boinking you. And they're not as receptive to when things go wrong, especially when you make sacrifices like that. You should never have to make a sacrifice for a man by sacrificing your soul, your dignity, your integrity, your trust. It makes you bitter in the long run. And I know a few people who have done that and it don't work out too well for them. And, I feel like she had just said something. It would have, I feel bad. I feel some type of sympathy for her. And her being raped was very, very sad. But and this is what I'm going to say. When I was watching the episode, and it was showing her fist was in love, whatever. And before they had their first child, and they were all up on each other, and they were staying at his dad's house. When she went in there and sat with him, in the back of my mind, I was like, he's talking about how he liked to sleep with pretty women, how he liked to cheat. You in here with a short dress on. I'm not saying Melly deserved it. I'm just looking at the scenery thinking, he finna do something to her. And then she's naive enough not to really pay attention to everything that's happening. I guess she was in shock because he just went digging up in her walls and just did what he felt like he needed to do and just went on by his business. And there were signals and signs that he was no good when he was talking about what he was doing. And I was she came in the bedroom, her head looked frazzled. He just did whatever he felt like doing to this girl and did not feel bad that was his son's wife. And I was shocked. Like, everybody's dad on this show is like messed in the head. They're doing all this strange stuff. It was too much. Ryder, you got your money, got your coins, but I'm proud of you. But I feel like Melly just don't have a backbone, and she's always begging, and she begs. And I understand when you're a woman and you're with a person and you're trying to make it work, and they don't really want to be with you, they want to be with somebody else, and you have to beg for their attention, beg for their time. But I think there comes a point when you have to just tell what's really going on, because that's why she has this aggressive nature. Like, season 1, we saw her have this really aggressive nature, really aggressive attitude, but it was because of all the sacrifices that she made. And she never told nobody. Like, she lived in silence. about everything, and she took the burden on as if it was her fault, which that was not her fault. But I wish that she was not as naive, because I could tell the way he was looking at her and the way he was talking that he was going to do something to her. And I wish she hadn't been as naive as she was not to notice that. I guess she's thinking that, okay, he's my, you can't trust people nowadays. You don't know who daddy gonna do what. You just got to be prepared. I'll bash his head over with one of them lamps. But I guess she saw it as, okay, I have to do whatever it takes to make it work. And girl, bye. I started hand in my nose. Accidentally, I was trying to rub something in my nose. Girl, bye. I'm not doing all of that. I do feel horrible, but, Melly did that to make sure her husband would become the next governor. But I don't think it should have took all that. I think her father-in-law should have enough respect. Okay, so let me go move that past that. Quinn is dumb. Been dumb, stay dumb, is gonna be dumb, ain't gonna get no better. Everybody making comments about her on Facebook, y'all might as well give up. She is dumb. She just dumb. She young and ignorant and naive. I'm not even gonna go in on Gwen, because I feel like this. When someone is a former spy or they're in some type of secret organization and they tell you to stop and sit down and you keep going, girl, bye. I'm not even going, and that's the thing, like, she's dumb. Still dumb, gonna stay being dumb. Ain't nothing gonna change. The part that got everybody was when they was trying to figure out the vice president's husband was cheating. I was like, ooh. I said, but I feel like this. The vice president, I am Christian, and God is very real, and living by the word of God is right. But don't throw stones at a glass house. She was so mad with Fitz when she found out that he was laying up with other people and was trying to undermine him. And when her cabinet member, the guy that went and killed all them people, was trying to expose him and throw him under the bus, she was okay with it. But that goes to show, God will do things in his time. You shouldn't be edging things on so you can look good. God is not about that either. So you need to check yourself before you sit up and talk about anybody else. And then when he died, she became the president. And then when she got kicked out, she got mad about that too. So I was kind of like, for her, she been throwing stones at a glass house for so long. The house haven't fell on her, but it's about to. It's going to crash on her and give her a stroke. So she is going to eventually tear her own house down. For real. And that's just what she's, I don't even know her name, because I don't even really pay her that much mind, because I already see the way she acts. She thinks that because her family is picture perfect, which no family is picture perfect. People make mistakes. People do things they got no business doing. That's why we have forgiveness. That's why God forgives us. But that's why God has mercy. And that's why God is an understanding God. But you want to throw stones at the glass house, and it's not even Fitz's house. You're throwing it at your own house. Girl, bye. Sit down. And then there was the thing with Cyrus being straight before he got end up being gay. I mean, that's not really a big of a surprise. Now, what would have been a big surprise if his wife came out looking like Cameron Diaz or Carmen Electra? That would have been a shock. But I ain't seen his wife yet, so he was looking rough then. He look rough now, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The other thing that got me was, yes, Fitz shot down the plane. That was horrible. And I understand that he didn't want to tell nobody or let nobody know what was going on. I do feel horrible for him. But what made me even more mad was that the dad let the mom stay there for 20 years. Why? What is the purpose of lying to your child and telling your child that her mother is dead? What did you gain? And why? And now, and if you go back to one of the first few episodes, that's what he showed Cyrus. And Cyrus had to sign off of was what happened with the plane. I felt like every attempt that her father is making is to kill or get rid of Fitz. And I feel like he needs to be careful himself because, no, I'm hypothetically saying, the mom could come back to life, come back to, civilization, and then kill him, and then, bam, he gone. But I mean, he's always up to something. He's a really bad liar. He lies like no other. He's sneaky, he's cunning, he's devious, he's disrespectful, he's rude. He has no respect for his daughter. He only liked Olivia because she came out looking like him. If she had been any other person in the world, he would have been pushed her off a cliff, off the face of the earth. Like, he don't really care about nobody besides himself. He claims he do, but he don't. That's kind of like everything. I know somebody was like, Marlene was like, please, Olivia, stop sleeping with people's husbands. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it until my eyes fall out. When Millie learns how to do her job as a wife, then he can stop putting his feet on other people's table. I cannot tell Fitz not to sleep with Olivia. I'm sorry. That's just me. That's his business. It's between him and God and her. But Millie can't do her job. Somebody got to do it. I'm just going to be real. Somebody got to do it. And Millie is kind of a snake. Like, she's nice, but then she's still a snake. Millie crazy. She off the chain crazy. Like, they need to put her in a mental facility and lock her little rump up. But I feel for Fitz being married to Millie and Millie not telling him what's going on and then being mad. You can't be mad and not say nothing and then expect somebody to love and care for you. And then the first few seasons you vicious like a lion or a tiger or a bear, and then expect to be seen as a little cute kitten or something. I just don't. I feel like Millie need to sit down with a psychiatrist and go to a mental facility, express how she feel, and then maybe he'll bonk her or something. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. The whole thing is all too much. I do like what Shinoda Ryder did. A lot of people was mad about the rape scene, but I want to say that this is a show. I have experienced some bad stuff in my lifetime. Everyone's experienced bad things in their lifetime. This show is supposed to be made to be realistic, but not to say that you should let somebody take advantage of you, not say nothing. It's a show, and if you want to be real, a lot of stuff go on like this in these, rich societies and with these well-known people. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be mean. A lot of times, the people that come out and tell be the poor people who live in the bad neighborhoods and ain't really got nothing to lose. A lot of the parents are okay with their husbands doing their daughters, whether they child or not. They're okay with that. So let me just make that a reference. I ain't talking about nobody, but this is very common. What you've seen in this show is very common. And a lot of the so-called young women who marry in the family, they just deal with it and shut their mouth and move on and try to be as positive and optimistic as possible because they know that they marrying into a well-to-do family is going to make their status go up higher. This happening is not what they was going to plan on doing, but they just go on along with it so they don't have to live in the streets and they live in a nice house so they can have the name. So don't be fooled and think this is just a show because a lot of stuff actually does happen. A lot of these people, some of this stuff gets swept under the rug. And the reason why people think it don't happen is because we wasn't living in the age of social media. Now we live in the age of social media. A lot of this stuff is coming out. But a lot of this stuff been going on for years. I have talked with my father about that. Me and him having depth conversations. And we talk about a lot of things. But a lot of stuff like this happens. People just don't tell. And there's not social media to catch people doing stuff like they were doing. Because if you would know what people were doing back then, probably was a lot worse than what was being done now. So I just want to let that be known. I know a lot of people mad. They don't like it, but I'm going to be real with you. A lot of stuff going on in the hood, just like it going in these rich, well-to-do family neighborhoods, too. So don't get it twisted like, okay, Shinoda Ryder is wrong, but Shinoda Ryder is actually kind of right. So we all know, I'm not trying to be mean, but a lot of people remember Charbonnet Ramsey. They never solved her case. They never figured out who got rid of her. Never figured out who did it. Everybody speculate who got rid of that little girl and did that little girl in. Just because she is the one case that people remember. Remember, there's always plenty other children who this has happened to and well-to-do families, but the difference was they were not seen in the media, and she was not, she's a media personality. She was a talent girl, a pageant girl, very pretty pageant little girl. A lot of these other children endure this stuff, and some of them don't die, they live with this stuff, and they rich, and you run around wondering why they went around popping mollies. But there's reasons for things why people do stuff. So that's just my little side comment, and I'm just gonna leave that to what it is. But look at Lil Wayne. He went around sucking on cough syrup because he was raped too. So you need to rethink when you think that people trying to be mean or pick at somebody because of a bad situation. It happens a lot. So that's the only thing I got to say. I know somebody's not gonna like what I had to say, and I do still send my condolences to the Charbonnet Ramsey family, and I do feel bad for them. But that's just an example of when stuff go wrong, even in well-to-do families. So family is a family. It ain't gonna be perfect, whether you got money, whether you're broke, whether you live in the street, whether you live in the shelter. That's just my personal opinion, and it's actually the truth. I know it for a fact, because I have my own life and I got my own story, so I know. That's the only thing I got to say. Please leave your comments below. Be nice. If anybody leaves any ratchet, disrespectful comment, I will block you, because I don't have time for that. So if you don't like what I said, just don't watch my channel. Don't watch it. Leave me alone. That's it. That's the only thing I got to say.